Okay, so in my newsletter, I always have a strategy of the month. And this one I think is a really good one. So I work with, he's 10 now, and I've worked with him for a few years. He's an autistic boy, and he has had a hard time with food, as many in the community do. Either sensory-wise, or they don't like it, or they do like it, and then they end up not liking it. And so the mom, a few years ago, started to ask if he wanted to cook the food for dinner. And he got to pick it out at the grocery store, and he'd cook it. And she said, we did so good with that. He had an apron, and he was cooking, and he loved it, and he didn't eat it. So I always say 98% of the time a challenging behavior is a lack of skill or an unmet need. And it takes your two best friends of time and patience to teach a skill and meet a need. So I was over there a couple weeks ago, and he was cooking. And he was cooking stuff I think at 10 I wouldn't have eaten. And I thought, I wonder how that's going to go. Like they burnt a little bit of the barbecue skewers, and I thought, I was 10, I definitely wouldn't have eaten that. But after 2 years of working at it and trying and talking about it, he cooked 2 things. He cooked something the night before and 2 things that night and ate all 3 things. I was like so incredibly proud, and I thought, this is the strategy of the week is hang in there. Like, dissect it into little, break it down into little pieces. So the mom started with an apron, then started with what sort of things would you like to cook? And then he'd pick them out, and then he'd go grocery shopping with her, and then he cooked the food and didn't eat it, and there was no shame around there. There was no guilt and embarrassment around that. It was still exciting that he wanted to be in the kitchen and cook. And little by little, right, as long as you're moving down that continuum to a different place, maybe to a goal, and maybe the continuum is only this big at first, like, let's see if he'll wear an apron and be in the kitchen. Got it. Okay, make a new continuum. Now let's see what kind of food he can stand cooking with smells, or sometimes how gross it looks, right? Like, we did that. Let's make plates for other people. Let's, right? His sister loves making videos. So she had to make a bed, and I was like, okay, get ready. You're gonna make your bed. And we pretended we were on this, like, home improvement show. So maybe making like a show about the cooking. Maybe shopping for new plates, or getting plates maybe around a special interest, right? So all of these things count to get you closer to maybe your child eating different food, if that is your goal. Try to dissect it break it down as little as you can, so you have all these celebration parts. All these celebration points, because without these celebration points, we're thinking we're only going to celebrate when they end up cooking the food and eating it. And this house took years. So it was little by little, and there were tears, and the mom and dad were crying, and I was crying, and the little boy's looking at us like, what are you guys doing? But it was amazing and awesome and wonderful. So let's break it down. Let's use time and patience. Let's make sure we have lots of sparkle confetti for when we get to have a celebration. And as always, I hope that helps a smidgen.